Hello everyone, myself Nitin Prakash Rao Patil. I am working as assistant professor at Department of Computer Science, Savitribai Phule, Pune University. I am associated with PUCSD since March 2004. I teach various courses including databases, operating system, system programming to MSc and MCA programs in the department. I have recorded this video for the I6CSE Teaching Compute 21 challenge. I, as a teacher, always believe that one should try giving learning experience to the students whenever possible, at least for the topics which can be demonstrated practically. And this definitely helps us to evaluate the outcome very precisely and clearly. Practical point of view, let me give an example. Suppose if I teach a concept of, say, operating system or databases, I should do that teaching not only in terms of theoretical manner, but I should try to give the students an experience how exactly it is happening towards the system side, and this definitely helps students to understand the concepts very precisely. I have chosen a topic named deadlock under conceptual challenge category, which we teachers from computer science teach in operating system as well as databases. Correct. Now in regular day-to-day life, our experience maybe like we can see multiple such situations where deadlock can be seen directly. For example, we always give an example of traffic jam in the city, okay, but we may not be able to directly express it in terms of computer system, like how exactly happens when we do talk about database or when we do talk about an operating system, and it is always better for individual to give that experience. Now, as per my experience, it may take some number of years rather for an individual to gain that experience how deadlock is happening on the computer system. Generally, what my experience is, like as a teacher, we cover this topic in say at least 3 to 4 lectures, okay, lecture hours. Now, the way that we cover this, we generally start with handling deadlocks, then we move further with respect to prevention and followed by avoidance. And towards the end, we do take some examples of two, three examples of solving problems related to Banker's algorithm. Now, when we do teach this, we do use say different 7 cases generally given in multiple books of databases. Okay. Now, those deadlocks may be related to say file request. The deadlock may be related to database. Deadlock may be related to say dedicated device allocation, as well as multiple device allocation, and sometimes deadlock might be related to say spooling or in a network or disk allocation. But then it remains only as a theoretical knowledge without an experience. What are the topics that we teach, it would be mostly addressing the theoretical concept. Now, considering this outcome of the teaching of that particular topic that we talked about, as a student, I learn this only as one another topic from either operating system or databases. Now, my goal is not served there purposefully. Okay. Now, it always remains a suspense in my like in my exponential learning rather, what exactly happens at that side. I never know that. So, in this video, I will be demonstrating how as a teacher one can give an experience to the students so as to overcome the difficulty in understanding, and from teacher point of view to avoid the difficulty in terms of teaching this concept only not without theoretical but practical manner. Now, how can we do this? So, for demonstrating this, I have used Linux operating system or Ubuntu specifically, and I am making use of PostgreSQL. So, I am trying to demonstrate the deadlock concept with databases. So, let us see the demonstration. So, let us try to demonstrate what exactly we discussed earlier. So, what I did here is like I have created 2 different terminals. I have opened 2 different terminals on which I am going to demonstrate this concept. So, for demonstrating this particular concept, I have created a database called ACM challenge. So, let me start that from this terminal. Similarly, from another terminal, I will start the PSQL client with the same database. Now, I have created one table called bank account. Okay, so let us see, these are the records that I have added there. Now, I would be accessing these rows rather on both the terminals through the transaction to demonstrate this deadlock concept. So let me start the transaction. So let me show the details again so as to keep track of what exactly we are trying to achieve. So let me write now an update statement, update bank account set account shared is equal to no where account number is equal to 101. Fine. So I updated on this particular terminal. So let me update on this terminal too. So update bank account set account shared equal to yes where account number is equal to 129. So on both the terminals I have updated the records. Okay, now I have accessed different records. Now what I will do is like from this terminal now I will try to update the earlier updated one, so 101. So let me go with this. So let us say yes, and I will write here 101. Okay, which we accessed on the other terminal. So now as it is already having access, this particular terminal or this process already having access to this account number, like what are the row that we accessed for, so it will keep this waiting. Correct. Now it is waiting for that lock to be released. Now let me do the same thing from here. So now let me change this to no, and I will access now the other record that we accessed on the other terminal. Now when we try to update this, now what happens is already lock is available with the other terminal, like this terminal, for record with value to be 129, account number to be 129, and similarly we had lock with this particular terminal with the account number 101. Now we are trying to access both the records in a cross manner. So now when I fire this particular query, we will see that it will generate a deadlock. Now this particular situation arises because we can say like what are the records that we tried accessing over here. Okay, so the locks were given to the respective units or the respective processes which we are accessing through different two terminals. Correct. So this deadlock concept can be demonstrated by this particular mechanism. Now what other things we can achieve over here is, like while we give this kind of situation to the student and we can ask, okay, which kind of necessary condition arose over here which resulted to this deadlock situation. Now you must have seen, like as an after we see this demonstration, the students definitely will see now the case shown in front of them, like they do see deadlock occurred. Now we can ask the questions precisely, very precisely to them, what kind of situation really arise there because of which the deadlock occurred. Correct. And moreover, like generally when we do talk about deadlock kind of topic, it should not just remain as only theoretical or predicted question answers. It is always better to add some practical examples in the sense of the example that we saw before a while. So if I give that kind of situation, if I ask the students what kind of necessary condition arise there which resulted to deadlock, and this definitely can help us to come up multiple difficulties as a teacher while teaching this course. Now I use this kind of policy of teaching various concepts in say for example in databases, considering the topics like query plan generation, even the communication between database and operating system, okay, transaction management, even what are the approach that is applied by database system rather to store your relations, what exactly is happening at that side when you do talk about relations. Same kind of methodology can be used to demonstrate concepts from operating system like process management, how the state changes are happening. Okay, even one can show how the scheduling is done. We can create multiple processes and show the students the practical experience of what changes are seen when you repeatedly execute these processes. Now, I use the same approach even with respect to teaching a system programming course. Like we start by talking about assemblers, and then we do work with an hypothetical assembler by considering a hypothetical instruction set. Now, I always use IA32 Intel instruction set rather to teach. And whenever I use an ASM assembler, if I assemble the program, how that program is getting translated to object code. So, when I take one instruction in assembly, how exactly it would be demonstrated or how exactly it is converted to object code. So, vice versa, if I have object code available with me, can I come up with what the original instruction is? So, this approach would be very, very helpful for us as a teacher rather to give or to prepare set of good quality questions. Even like considering this pandemic, we came up with some examination patterns like having multiple choice questions in the examination and so on. So, this kind of approach will definitely help us to set these questions very precisely, and it would not be kind of repeated questions again. Now, when we do talk about my experience rather, it helped me a lot to reach out to the students level. So, I am very much thankful to university authorities as well as ECDLIC team providing me this opportunity to record and demonstrate this concept in front of you all. Thank you very much.